You're live, is what they say, and it's been a while since I've went live, at least this way anyway, because I haven't used just the YouTube streaming platform. I've always been using Restream or something else. So I'm trying to make sure that I correctly. I just muted myself. I didn't mean to do that. And I think volume wise, I am good. Hopefully, I'm good. Let me listen to this real quick. You might hear music in the background. Hopefully, it doesn't get no copyright because my son is playing a video game. Okay, let's look at this real quick. How's everybody doing out there? I'm going live a little earlier than I expected to because I was actually trying to go live at 8:30, but since everybody is off, okay. So yeah, I hear it. Sounds good. So I decided to go live, and this is just to help you out with Cakewalk. I don't have any like specific type of plans for this stream, so I'm just gonna be here. I'm just gonna kind of be looking at the program itself. And if you have any questions, new timeout lengths, you can now put people in timeout for different lengths. Okay, ranging from 10 seconds to 24. Oh wow. Okay, so I can put people in timeouts. That's cool. Get myself a few hearts there. Let's see, to share the screen. All right, let's do this entire screen. And I got to make sure that I'm hearing the audio from my screen. Let's see, share. All right, okay, puts me down there. That's awesome. Cool beans. Looks good. Hide this. All right, so actually, there's one thing that I did want to talk about. I wanted to talk about, before I get into talking about Cakewalk, if I get any questions, but I definitely going to talk about Cakewalk, but I want to talk about my channel just so that way you will know how I can best help you with my YouTube channel. So let me go look at that real quick, because some of you all may be new to this channel. And if you're new to this channel, then you may not know exactly how to go about connecting with me and to, have access to whatever you need. Let me go back here and go to my actual YouTube channel. I wasn't trying to do that. View channel. There it is. Okay. So on here, good. I'm glad that video didn't come up playing. But on here, I have several different playlists. All right. So I don't know if you ever looked at my playlist before, but let me go through the playlist and let me sort through last video added. So I have several playlists. Now, some of these playlists you may not see because these are my personal playlists, but this playlist, like which is where this video will be, is called Answering Your Questions by Cakewalk by Bandlab. And this has been a playlist that I normally do live videos or Q&A where I sit down and I answer questions that may pop up. Caktorials is a phenomenal playlist that came to me a while back. It's got 60 videos in here. It might even be a little bit more than that, but sometimes I forget to add them to this. Okay, tutorials focus on shorter videos that are 10 minutes and under. Well, basically between 10 minutes and 2 minutes long, 2 minutes to 10 minutes. And this is more of my like entertainment slash YouTube education for Cakewalk. Like normally these videos are a little bit more, have a little bit more editing tricks and things like that to make them a little bit more interesting, to help them get more watch time and stuff like that. And I got to go back through these and really look at them. I want to do a, what do you call it, reaction video. I'm gonna get back to doing reaction videos, and I want to go through and actually go back and look at these videos, that I've done a long time ago. Okay, most popular video within this is that no audio. A lot of you might have came from this video. Um, and really, this video should not be in here anymore because I've changed this one and this one too as well. Because this Caktorials is going to be between 2 and 10 minutes long. But I have another playlist that I created called the Minotaurials, or Minotaurials rather. I don't see where it is. Let's see. Got my Just to Reacts. I got the vocal process, which focuses on everything dealing with vocals. So vocal editing. Just to Covers is just all the songs that I choose to cover. These not instrumental, but I say instructional videos are one-off videos that I've done in the past. They really have nothing to do with anything on this channel, but they're just stuff that I did in the very beginning of the channel. Pieces of the Family is a band that I was with. Just the Dolls will be focusing on all the other dolls that I explore outside of Cakewalk. So if you want to, learn about other dolls as I start to slowly roll out tutorials for some of the other ones, then go there. The long tutorials are my bread and butter. That's what made this channel. Most of y'all may have came from that. And these are anything that's over 10 minutes long, basically. Let's Make Music is my series focusing on me taking you through the actual whole process of me recording videos, all right? Not recording videos, but I mean recording music. I forgot what I'm talking about. Excuse me. I'm so sorry, y'all. But the whole process of recording actual music, like I take you through the whole process of me writing a song, like coming up with the melody, recording it. So if you want to know how to do this stuff from start to finish in Cakewalk, including mixing, mastering, this is what this series is. Let's Make Music. So definitely check that out. Getting started in Cakewalk for beginners. This is like my getting started videos, any of those videos. YCQ, otherwise your Cakewalk questions, is all the questions that I get. Normally I get questions, a bunch of questions in comments. And ever so often when I get time, I try to go through and I answer all the questions in the comments, but I love to make videos about them, which is why the last video that I made actually came from a question. So I normally will post them here. And let me look at this playlist. Okay, it says one unavailable. There's 27 here. Let's do most popular. Okay, most popular. Okay, I guess this is the most popular. So recording the virtual drum kit in Cakewalk is easy with the SI drum kit. Okay, someone asked about how to record with the SI drum kit. That's the reason why this came about. This IOTA Mini, I had nothing to do with that at first. I didn't even know what it was until someone actually came in and told me about that. All right. So yeah, these are just some tutorials to really help you out in Cakewalk. And then I'm going to get actually into Cakewalk itself. So if you have questions and you pop in, definitely let me know what's going on. Let's see, what else do I have? I have my menu tutorials, which I'm going to start making more of these. I haven't made a lot, but I find that these are really helpful because they're a little longer than a short, but they add so much value. And a lot of people are really doing well with this. Like this, how to download and install Cakewalk by Bandlab. This is one of my biggest videos on here. And this, how to record vocals, is starting to come up. So, and yeah, so I'm just going to be fleshing out that. If you don't know, I have a PDF that you can download. It's really, I don't even know if it's really considered downloading basically, but it's a file basically where you can go on and you'll see like a search engine for all my videos. The ones that I feel like that are the most helpful. I still got to update it, but as I update it, you'll have access to that list, and then it'll allow you to just kind of search. It's kind of like a little mini search engine for my videos. But then you can just go to specifically what question you're looking for and find those videos. The links for that is underneath any of my videos, so you can find that. I also do have my own templates, vocal templates that I am putting out, so definitely check that out. All right, let's get into Cakewalk. And if anybody gets on, I think I had some that got on and got off, but that's okay. And let's do it. So let's exit out of this. Here we are in Cakewalk. The last few things that I've really been working on is I'm working on my Octagroup still, which is a song that will be on the upcoming album. And I was working on this Selfish cover, the Justin Timberlake song. Never been done before. That's old. I haven't really worked on any new songs lately. I still got this Christmas song I started creating. This tone groove. I don't remember what that is. I'm always creating like new ideas on Cakewalk, and sometimes I get to finishing them, and then sometimes I don't. So I think this is one of the ones that I haven't worked on in a while. Kind of forgot what it sounds like now, but I just need to really work on these songs. How you all doing? And um do you get in here? Do you make songs? Is it easy for you to do this, or do you have trouble with it? Do you have well, not do you have, but are you working on new songs that you're planning on releasing? I hope everyone is able to release something this year because that would just make it so much like great, beautiful if you can release your own music. Let me see. Okay. All right. I'm hoping that this is still picking up everything okay. See how the sound is going to be. Let me play this and see if I hear it. You hear it? Got some little clips here. Oof, fat bottom. Okay, so I remember, all right. It's a song that I have lyrics for. I think I just never recorded it. Most of the time, I find myself finding like new ideas for songs, and I'll start recording like a new idea, and then I won't touch it for a while. I'm like, I gotta really get to the point where I just work on finishing one song at a time. And you've seen it probably many a times where people will just finish a song very quickly, like they can finish it like within 2 hours or something and record everything. It's a little different when you're doing stuff from your home studio because you feel like you don't have to record stuff, early. Like you can just take your time with it. And if you get busy or if you have other things going on in your life, you can just put it to the side. So I'm trying to work on taking more focus and just being able to really dig into the music. But a little bit about this song, like how this song came about. Um, I think you know it, and I'll talk about a little bit about the context of the song itself. But for as a musically, I remember this, and then I just kind of want to do that as like a choir. So here and I've got some vocal effects on these two as well. Okay, yeah, it's got Sinus compressor on it. It's got an equalizer. It's got a reverb. It's got a modulator on there, and then I also have it dubbed with you hear the chords in the beginning, but you also hear like a bell. Where's that bell at right here? Yeah. So and it comes in late. I don't know why I didn't put it for the very first part of the song, but that I really like that. And then yeah, it kind of starts off, it builds up, starts off with just, bass drum and bass and a guitar, like this little guitar part. And this guitar part came from a live Lander chromatic, which I really love this plug-in. Juice strings. So Okay, and then I kind of play that in, but it's really cool for just trying to set it to the keys on your keyboard, and then still getting that fat guitar sound. Because Cakewalk does not come with guitar sounds; it comes with bass sounds, which is fine. But I'm hoping that the new Cakewalk, when they release Cakewalk Sonar, they will consider that and add some of those things in there. But right now, they don't have it in there. So, um, yeah. So we're going to just look a little bit more. So this song, I think you know it, is basically, picture yourself being a man or a woman, and you're afraid to talk to the person that you have feelings for about how you really feel. So this song is kind of like a song. I would say it was to my wife, but it's not really to my wife. It's just it could be for anybody, but it's basically to a girl who I am trying to explain how I feel, but I get tongue tied, tongue twisted. I have a trouble really saying it. So it's like I think you know it, like girl, like I think you know how I feel. And then it kind of is going to change. I believe it's going to change lyrically, where it'll say, I think you know it. I think you know the way I feel about you. Um, and then at the end, it's probably going to say, "I know you know it," or I hope you know it," or something like that. Or I might just keep it. I think you know it, but it's going to have a lot of harmony in it, and I'm so excited about being able to record the song. I just be grateful when I actually get a chance to record it. But like I said, one thing at a time. Musically wise, this is pretty much finished, I believe. Okay, what do you think about? Let me pen this message real quick, dope kid. What do you think about Cakewalk next? Okay. What do you think about Cakewalk next? You know what, man? This is really funny. Like, one thing, I kind of hate the way this chat looks. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so used to being on Restream. It's like I didn't even see the chat pop up. I'm like, okay, there it is. That's a little better. All right. I haven't tried Cakewalk Next yet. And the only reason why is because there's a beta version of it and there's videos that's been made on it. But me personally, I wanted to wait until it actually dropped to try it. The beta version is fine, but I feel like it might not have all the features. They still might have some tweaks. I think it's gonna be cool because if you like Bandlab, like the actual app Bandlab that works for your phone, works for your iOS device, and it works for the computer, whichever. I was able to do some editing on my Chromebook. Something Cakewalk by Bandlab doesn't work on Chromebook, but I like it in the instance that it was easy to use. And even though some of the features are limited, I believe that it's going to be pretty good. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. It might be the exact same as BandLab, but it might be a little different. But I do like the fact that Cakewalk Next will work on Mac too as well. So that's gonna be good if you're a person that you have a Mac device. I'm more interested in Cakewalk Sonar. And only because I used Sonar in the past, I really want to know what it's gonna be like now. So have you tried Cakewalk Next, Dope Kid? Have you tried it yet? Okay. All right. What's on the second part? So then, and like I know on this song, like the drop comes in there, but on the second verse is a little different. I'm trying to gain down some. One thing is gonna be so loud. Yep, and then it's gonna go back to that bridge again. Boom, 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 boom. I think you know it. All right. Yeah, a little bit similar to Logic Pro. Can I just drag this over? It's like it doesn't show the whole message. Let's see. Okay, guess not. So yeah, a little similar to Logic Pro. I figured it was gonna be that much because that's what they was trying to kind of emulate, something that's gonna be compatible or not compatible, but just similar to those softwares. I'm hoping, my hope for Sonar is that a few things that they do. One, even though I don't really need it as much because I don't do much sampling. I mean, I never really have to, but it is good to have it anyway. So I hope that they put a sampler in Sonar, and I hope that they add some more instruments. I hope they add a guitar sound, some type of guitar sound, like, I mean, just basic guitar, and I also hope they add some more drums, like, I mean, I like the SI drum kit. SI instruments are great, but I mean, I hope they add some more samples or some more stuff in there to make it more compatible, not compatible, but more competitive with, like FL Studio and some of the other ones that are out. So, but I can hope. But like I said, until then, Cakewalk by Bandlab is still an amazing software for being free, and this still will be usable even when the new ones come out. You still will be able to use it, just like people still use Sonar. Some people still have Sonar on their computer. Even though you won't receive any updates on it, but it still will work. And if you're okay with no updates, then you should still be able to use it, to get your stuff done. And I think for is like being able to transfer from Bandlab to Sonar or to any other projects. And I know like Bandlab, the integration between them two works really well. Like I can transport a Bandlab project straight to here. So I can go create a little beat, do something real cool in Bandlab, and then bring it back into here to record vocals and stuff like that. Um, yeah. So I mean, it's really cool the way that they are doing these softwares, man. Like where you can do stuff from wherever you are, like the comfort of your home. What is this up here? Let's see. Got some other stuff I need to explore. And there's still a lot of stuff on here, like I said, that I haven't even really looked at on Cakewalk. It's like amazing. It's like when you get stuff and you don't really need to use it, you don't really think about trying to use it until someone asks you a question. That's when you start thinking about, oh, how do I do this? Or how do I do this? Which is why I love when I receive questions about this software, because there's so many things that I don't know and that I love to go research. How to mix tutorial. Live long. Just a tune. I got some other projects that are on another laptop that I had. Just a norm acapella. Oh, this is an acapella version of it. I gotta hear that. I don't know what that sounds like. It's got anything. Oh, there's nothing on here. Oh, I don't even know why I put that there. I don't know why I created that project. Okay. Test. Step sequencer. 500. Sub Christmas. Oh, I remember this. Listen to that. It's not on there though. Where is the project at for it? Yeah, this is it. 219, 110. I haven't done anything with this one. This is like some type of little, I think it was an instrumental that I created for Christmas. This is when I got 500 subs. Yep, this is from 500 subscribers when that happened. Breath Carolina guitar loop. I like that. I like that too as well. Yeah, that's got this sample here, which really doesn't even, it's like totally different groove. And then the actual part like this. But then it goes with this. And it's weird because like this one groove is kind of straight, but the other bass drum is like more swung. Like this is more swung. Not quite, but I mean it's just, and this is more like, and actually, I mean this is more delayed. That's what I mean. Like it's like when the clap comes in, it's got that flam on it, so it almost sounds like it's a little bit behind the beat. What am I using? Okay, these are all sounds from Splice. I got to do something with that one day. I don't know, or it might just be something that's just there. My intention is to take a lot of these like songs that I've created just for a tutorial sake. Like I might actually take those and just release them on an album by themselves. I feel like I should have more projects in this. Sidechain X. What's this? Let me hear what that sounds like. If it's got anything on it. This probably has nothing. It's just something I did. Yeah, I said that. You know how I feel. Yeah, I said that. Okay. I guess I was doing like sidechain. Was I doing sidechain reverb or something? I don't know what I was doing using that for. It's always good to go back and find these projects that I haven't seen in a while. Bass slide. Oh yeah, I was working on a video. Someone asked me how to do like a bass slide like similar to another song. So I was trying to work on that, trying to figure out how I can do that in Cakewalk. Let's see, vocal chop and then groove. July. What is this? New groove for July. I don't remember what none of this stuff is, to be honest. Oh, man, Cakewalk just closed on me. Excellent. I got a feeling that it's gonna close on me again when I open it back up. Close this down. Actually, this other stuff is closed. Oops, no, I don't need to do that. About to exit out of that. I'm trying to do that. Okay. Gotta exit out of Cakewalk real quick because it's not doing what I needed to do. So where is it? Is it down here? Yeah, there it is. If your Cakewalk ever gets stuck or freezes up and you're trying to find it or get it to close down, you might have to go in here to processes and try to find it and then try to close it. And it might take a few times to close. Right click on it in task. I don't know why sometimes it'll still stay open. Then hope that it does it, because I can still tell that it's still up and open. Oops, I changed my icons. I did not mean to do that. Those were tiny icons. Michi, what you smiling about? What's so funny, man? Sort by name. For some reason I keep getting this little space in my apps. Let me see if it's gonna open up now. There it is. It takes a while to close down sometimes. I don't know why, but it does. I normally don't have it shut down like that though. So it's got to be that project that I clicked on. Wow. Okay, let me see. Step sequencer. Oh yeah, I remember this. This was when I tried to create that 700 sub thing, 700 subscribers. I was trying to think of different things to do. So this is nice. I did this in MIDI. I was trying to do it like Jacob Collier style where you could play it in. I played like the 7 in, but the rest of this I just wrote out. But this is cool how you can do that stuff. And I remember what it sounded like. Something's muted. What's muted right now? For gaining tips for gaining vocals equally quick. Okay. Tips for gaining vocals equally quick without static in it. Okay, so J Evo D, do you mean how to increase the gain coming into your cakewalk on your vocals without getting static? Is that what you're asking? So like if I was, so like my microphone right now, I'm coming through an interface, and I don't know if you're using an interface or not, but I'm using a Zoom Live Track L8, which is like a digital mixer basically. And when I have it set up in Cakewalk, I definitely make sure that I'm set on ASIO. So that's the first thing, is making sure that you have it set up correctly. And so playback recording, make sure it's set on ASIO. Driver settings, I have it set as the drivers here. Okay, let's see. And you said, yeah, like recording it, then boosting. Oh, okay, got you. That's pretty simple. Let me show you a few ways to do that. Let me create a new project real quick. So once you have your settings right and you have your gain right, I didn't mean to do that. Let's click on start screen. New project. Let's just do empty project. Control T creates the audio track. I'm gonna set it to Zoom. And then I'm plugged into channel 1. So it's gonna go N1. Press record. All right. And like when I'm getting ready to record, first of all, I got a good signal. It's okay if your signal is not loud enough, because you can always bring it up. There's 2 different ways. I'm gonna show you how to do that. So, but let's say I'm gonna turn the metronome off. Hey, what you gonna do? Yeah. What you gonna do? Yeah. Woo. All right. So say I've recorded something like that. Hey, what you gonna do? Yeah. All right. So now gain wise, I mean, it might be fine. One way you could do this is click on the track, or click on the clip rather, hold control down, and then with your left mouse button, you could drag it up or drag it down. All right. So now, hey, what you gonna do? And I'm trying to record off so you can really see the signal meter. Hey, what you gonna do? Yeah. And you can see that it does hit the red. So maybe I don't want it to hit the red. Press control and I can bring it back down again some. Hey, what you gonna do? Yeah. Okay, so and then if I didn't like it that way, Control Z, go back to where I was originally. Another way that you can do it, that I do this quite a bit, is to go up to Process, Apply Effect, Gain, all right? Or you can normalize too as well. Normalize will kind of try to make all the peaks similar to each other and just kind of make it more evenly based. Think of it more like a compressor for some reason. It does work good sometimes to normalize, but it's up to you, to do it. It's just going to put everything back down to 0 decibels. So gain wise, you can come here And let's say, for instance, I recorded a part and I just wanted to boost it up, I can say 2 decibels, boost it up that way. Or if I wanted to just say I just wanted to do this part, um, or let's say this part right here, say I want to do that, I can split it, split here, and then I can just go up there, go to gain and increase that part, 2 decibels, 1 decibel, 6 decibels, or if you need to reduce it decibels, you can do that too as well. Or I can use a control feature. And let's say I didn't want that part that loud, or I wanted it louder than the other parts. So now, hey, what you gonna do? Yeah. What you gonna do? Yeah, yeah. Woo. All right. So that's how I would go about doing that. Of course, keep in mind that when you're doing processing, if you're doing, compression, you know, EQ, any type of saturation, anything like that, your vocals gonna naturally get louder anyway. Oh, shortcut for splitting is S. Hopefully yours is set up like that. So yeah, if you press S on the keyboard, so just click it and then press S and then split clips rather. And then you can press OK. So yeah, I have mine set to automatically do a fade, crossfade. So you can disable it like right up here at this top corner. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see, what is that? Yeah, so I can zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. So yeah, up here I have mine set enabled to do a linear crossfade rather. So whenever I split it, it automatically crossfades it. So, but you can turn that off, and that's a ripple effect. So hopefully that helps. Thank you for that question. It's good to get questions. I love getting questions. Oh, okay. How you all's night going? Or day, whichever, depending on where you are. Yep. So, okay, hold on one moment. I gotta tell my kids to start getting ready for bed. I apologize for that. I never like to go mute, but I don't want you to hear me yelling and screaming. All good things. So, can you automate the mute button? Interesting. Day is good. Finally getting better at understanding how to mix and master. Awesome. Okay. Let me see. I don't know. I don't think I've ever tried to automate the mute button before. That's a good question. Let's see. So in order to do, let's put this back on so you can see it better. My little magnifying glass. So in order to do any type of automation, there's 2 options that's on here: automation read, right, and then automation write. So you want to make sure that automation write is turned on. All right, and then sometimes there's some settings that you need to click on. So you right click, I think it's on here, remote control, value. No, okay, maybe not on this part. Certain effects, like if I was using reverb, most of them will have some type of settings for it. So let me see. If I start here, What's up, the Gaming Zone? How you feeling? If I start here and just press play, I wonder if it will automatic the mute. I got a feeling it won't, but we'll find out. This is really weird looking at this like this. Okay, hold on. Insert set. Anything else down here I need? Nope. Okay. Okay, no. All right, let's try it. Let's see if it works. And I'm pretty sure there might be a way to work. Hey, Gio, Anat. Hopefully I said that correctly. Can you bounce a 2-track into one like FL Studio when you make a melody? Yeah, but yeah, of course. I'll show you how to do that in one moment. First of all, I'm trying to see if I can automate a mute. So uh let's see. Hey, what you gonna do? Yeah. All right. Let's try to write off. Got to read on. Let's see what it does. Hey, what you gonna do? Yeah. What you gonna do? Okay, nope, that did not work. Any amount of track you want. Okay. All right, Jay, Evo D, let me start with your question. What does automation do? So automation allows you to program or record slight changes that you make to any parameter of the audio or MIDI, if that makes sense. So for instance, if I wanted to write something on here, now this is something that might work. That did not work. So you can see down here, it'll let you know what parameters work. Okay, so to answer your question about the mute, and I guess it's because you really don't need to mute a certain part. Like if you didn't want a part to play at a certain point, just crop it and delete that part. That's probably why it didn't work. So, but here you can see, you all see that? Yeah, you can. So at the bottom of my track 1, see everything that has a red bracket by it. So when I have write enabled for automation, it's letting me know that I can control the fader. See, the fader has a bracket at the top, and it has a bracket at the bottom. And then I can control the pan knob because it has a bracket. And then I can also control effects and stuff like that. But the effects are not on right now. So say for instance, I wanted to record if I wanted to pan this vocal left, right. So I can do that. So let's start off at the beginning, press W for shortcut. And I'm gonna go down here and you'll watch it. You'll see what's gonna happen. Hey, what you gonna do? Yeah. What you gonna do? Yeah. Woo. And this would be your mute if you wanted to do a mute like that. Okay, so and then when I go back, I turn that off because I don't want it to do anything else in there. Make sure you have your read enabled. Hey, what you gonna do? Yeah. What you gonna do? Yeah. Woo. Okay, and then you can see that to cut it off. Now, for some reason, if that didn't like quite do exactly what I wanted to do, I can press Control Z, and that'll undo it. Or I can press Control Shift Z to redo it. Keep that in mind. Control Z to undo, Control Shift Z to redo. And once I do that, like say for instance, if I didn't like the way those nodes were, here's my automation lanes right here. I can go and I can adjust the nodes and I can change them around to fit where I want them to be. All right, now Gaming Zone, you had a question and make it into one. Okay, not talking about export, that takes too long. Okay, like rough mixes, sometimes I want to mute the drum track, not slide the fader down and back. I have to look into that Ken to see if there's another way to go about doing it. Okay, so like if you was mixing it out and you just didn't want the drums to play. Well, like I say, if the drums, like if you want the drums muted the whole entire song, then you can just mute it. But if you want it muted for like a certain section, then the simplest way would be just to take that part out, or just delete that section. But I see what you're saying. It might be just like something you was trying to do at the spur of the moment. I got to look more into that because I don't think normally if it's something that's highlighted, if it's got those brackets around it, then it lets you know whether or not you can do it or not. Boy, these texts are coming in real quick. So now I'm trying to make sure I'm keeping up by reading them. Okay, so 2 minutes. Okay. So Gaming Zone wanted to know, can you bounce a 2-track into one like FL Studio when you make a melody? All right. Let me do this, exit out of that, and close this. Actually, I'm gonna delete that. I'll just go delete this track, period, actually. All right. So if I had 2 tracks and you said you don't want to do the export because that takes too long. Well, I mean, export is one way to do it. Export doesn't really take that long for me, so it shouldn't take that long. It only takes like, unless it's like a song that's like 20 minutes long, but if it's like, 2 tracks, let me go to find something so I can actually show you something that's got something on it already. Close this. No. Open. Let's go to 2 tracks. Let's see. What can I click on? That yeah, I was playing with this earlier. So I bring this back up. This 500 sub Christmas. This is from when I got 500 subscribers. So there's 2 tracks on there. It's not that long. I mean, so let's say for instance I wanted to just do like the drums. Let's just say I want to do that one part right there. Okay. So there's 2 ways that I really know that you can do this. One, of course, you can do bounce to track. All right. So bounce to track is what you're probably talking about. So that's when you highlight 2 tracks, no matter how long they are, and you go to, actually, let me do this again so you can see it. So you can see what I'm doing because I know I'm moving quick. X.E.L.O. Man, what's up, dude? I know you was streaming, man. Shoot, I wasn't trying to step on your streaming time, man. I just decided to finally start streaming on Mondays. Well, we'll see how long that lasts, but at least I got this Monday because I was off of work. All right, but so yeah, so if you click on those 2 tracks, all right, so bass snare, bass snare, then I go up to tracks, go down to bounce tracks, and then you want to make sure you got all your settings right. You can do a preset if you haven't. For right now, I'm just going to say that I got everything the way I want it to be, and it's going to bounce it to a new track, destination 8, and press OK. And then as long as those tracks have audio and as long as they're enabled and they're not muted, it'll bounce it. So now when I go listen to this, I'll just hear that. I turned this gain down earlier too as well. Okay. Hope next month I will try to flip. Okay. But I don't know. I'm not good to flip samples. Hey, man. The best way to get started at flipping samples is to start. So, I mean, the thing about it is that nobody can copy your imagination or what you can do with music. So don't feel like you got to be the best at doing anything because the way you do it is going to be your own style. So nobody can duplicate that. So, and even though I don't really flip samples that much either, but I have done. And lately I've been looking at a lot of songs that have samples flipped. So I'm going to do another reaction which I haven't done in a long time. But I did a reaction video a while back talking about classical songs that were sampled in hip hop. And I started doing some more research last night and I found a lot of interesting things. But it's not just gonna be focused on hip hop now, it's just gonna be focused on any type of music. But it's like samples coming from samples, coming from samples. And I'm like, boy, it's crazy how much one part can be sampled in like 5 or 6 different songs. So, but anyway, it's yeah, just get started with it. It's all about having fun. So I might do a flip thing too one day. Shoot, I gotta get on there. I just gotta get on that Discord. X, I gotta get on the Discord. I'm like, man, shoot, I hardly be on Discord. I set up a Discord for myself and still don't know how to use that thing. You get locked into one social media platform and it's hard to drift away from it. So, but anyway, so this is one way you can go about exporting it, yeah, to 2 tracks or taking 2 tracks and putting it into 1 track. Of course, you can do the export feature up here. You can also, if you wanted to quickly freeze the track, you can do that too as well. That would just kind of help reduce some of the memory that you have. So hopefully, who's it? Game is on. This was your question originally, so hopefully this helped. And then, oh, these messages. Let me turn this magnifying glass off. All right, so it said, "Can you answer that?" Okay, any amount of track you want. Yeah, you can bounce down any amount of tracks. Hey, before I did export, now see the original. I'm gonna say the original. So I use Cakewalk, 3.0. Like I went back to like the original Cakewalk when it was just on DOS basically. So when Pro Audio came out, the export feature on there was not that good. I mean, it was fine, but normally I used to have to always bounce the track. And the reason why you do bounce the track is because you can quickly create multiple versions of the same song. So, you can like say, hey, let me create the instrumental. Let me create this is the version that's acoustic. This is the version that's got the background vocals. This is the version that doesn't have background vocals, or this is the version that's got the lead vocals, etc. So you can do all of that, and you can have all these multiple tracks down there. And then when you got them on bounce down, or you wanted different mixes for each, then you can export them and then send them or upload them, whatever you need to do. But this is the way I used to do stuff all the time. And then finally, when Sonar came out, they got it where you can actually I can just double click all of these, and export them just like that, and just go to export and do it that way. But if you wanted to just bounce down, or say for instance, you even wanted to bounce down, like you trying to do stems, like if you're getting stems set up to send to somebody, maybe you want to just say, hey, let me put all the background vocals on 1 track. So you might do that. Let me put the lead vocals on 1 track. Let me put all the percussion on 1 track. All the drums on 1 track. So then you can do that. To make things a little bit more easier to send out. So you're sending, I don't know how many tracks you all use, but the average project might use 25, 30 tracks. Average pop record might use 100 and some tracks. If you're somebody like Jacob Collier, you might use 600 and some tracks. So you don't really want to be trying to export all of those tracks out like that, or creating stems from that. So you didn't have to compress them, or not compress them, but just combine some of those tracks. So that was one good reason why this bounce track is really good. Make it into X, you still on here? Maybe you can answer this question. Maybe So Ken 952 Guitar or GTR had a question about trying to automate mute. I don't know if you can automate mute on Cakewalk. Do you know if you can or not? If you still here, I don't know if you still here or not, but maybe you know the answer to that. I admit this, you all. Yeah, you can. Okay. How do you go about automating the mute? I know you can automate like pan, you can automate the faders and stuff like that. This is the reason why I asked. Hey, you all, I know one thing. I do not know everything. That's one thing I know. So I am not afraid of asking for help. It just has all the way of off. Yeah, because earlier, like I was, like I had a track, and then I was just trying to, automate it, show them how to do automation. All the on and OFG. This old version of the Cakewalk. Evolving. What's the old version of Cakewalk? This is Cakewalk by Bandlab. This is the most. It's okay, X. I know you can't type. I'm like, what is you saying, bro? I'm like, shoot. I was like, hey man, you using those, LOLs and stuff like that. That them abbreviations. I don't know all of them. Them acronyms. Evolving. This is the current newest updated version of Cakewalk by Bandlab. But yeah, this isn't. I don't know how to say this isn't. This isn't the new Sonar that's out, or the next that's out. This is the Cakewalk by Bandlab, but this is a newer version of Cakewalk. So if that makes sense, so this is newer than Cakewalk Sonar, the original Sonar. Okay, let's see. Okay, but I don't know. Okay, so Gaming Zone, cool. I'm reading up like because messages are flying and I'm seeing them at the last. I'm kind of reading backwards. But Gaming Zone, hopefully they answer your question. You said thank you. You're welcome. Came here, asked a question. Cool. Do you know if the PreSonus 3.5 BT is a good budget monitor? I'm not familiar with that particular monitor, J Evo. But PreSonus is a really good company, so pretty much anything that's by them, I'm in love with. So I would say if it's something that's in your budget, get it. The good thing about monitors is that you can never, I won't say you can never have enough of them, but it's good to have multiple ones for different purposes. So you might want to have some that are, that might not sound ideal. They might be your cheap ones, because if you can get everything to sound good on the cheap ones, then it's going to transfer better when you're playing it in your car, playing it on your cell phone and stuff like that. So anything about PreSonus I'm in love with. So I would say definitely, check them out and get them. Or maybe do some research on them. Look at, somebody's probably got videos of where they reviewed them or not. I got to get more into reviewing things. X is reviewing a whole lot of stuff. He might have got the monitors. I don't know. So yeah, okay. Okay, just has all the way. Okay. Okay, you said my display reminds me of the old school. Well, it is just like, so it's just like Sonar. Normally you have different themes and stuff like that, except mine is I've kind of tweaked mine a little bit because it's normally this bar is not pink like that. So, but yeah, you can change it the way, to look however you want it to look. Okay, so how do you finalize your mix to make everything sound balanced? Mm, that's an open-ended question. So understanding this about mixing is that every single song that you create is going to sound different. So it's kind of understanding what you want your balance to be and what you want your mix to be like. I normally do reference tracks, so I'll compare it to another song that I say, hey, this song, I want this song to bump more. I want it to have more bottom end, more low end. Then I'll find another song that's similar to that. Or I might say this one I want it to be more breathy, more airy, or just be more mesmerizing. Then I'll compare a song to that. When it comes down to it, just know that when you're mixing, yeah, if it's your first time mixing, your first mix is going to be worse than your next mix. I'll put it like that. So you're always going to be evolving. You're always going to be making subtle changes. I'm seeing a lot of greats that have mixed a lot of projects and they discover new things and they're like, wow, I didn't know I can do it this way. And now all of a sudden, I'm able to get a better sound. So me personally, because my main instrument is percussion and drums and piano, I tend to want the drums to hit fat, you know, as much as I can. Now, sometimes I don't achieve that. So typically, if it's a song that's got drums and I want the drums to hit, I want them to smack hard, you know. Then I want my bass to be there. If I have piano, if I have piano in it, normally I want my piano to be stereo field. So I might put the piano in the back, but I might widen it as much as I can so it's heard. If it's a song that doesn't really need background vocals like harmonies or things like that, then the piano might be louder. But if it's a song that has a lot of background vocals, the piano will be there, but it's more just to add support and to add more depth. But really, background vocals and lead vocals are kind of taking charge of everything. And then above all, making sure the lead vocals on top of everything that you do. So normally I like to do a minimum approach. So I'll start with just drums, bass drum, like maybe bass drum, snare, and vocals. Right. And you might see tutorials that talk about this. Making sure those are cool. Is the bass drum? Is it hitting you? You know, is it cutting through? Not, and it doesn't mean that the bass drum has to be loud on every song, and it doesn't have to hit hard on every song. Some songs are different, but depending on what you're going for, like if you want your bass drum to hit you in the face, then get that right first. Your snare, it used to be the rule where they say the snare should be on top of the bass drum. Um, and because it's really positioned of a real drum set, you know, drum set, the bass drum is on the bottom. So you hear more of it position wise on the bottom, and the snare is normally on top of the bass drum because literally on a drum set, it really is on top of a bass drum. So snare normally gets lost frequency wise because of it's in the same spectrum as vocals. So you gotta like really mesh that well together. So that's why I say if you get the bass drum right, the snare right, and then get the vocals right, and then you're good. The bass, guitar. Let me read the messages because I'm talking and trying to look at the camera, but you know, so yeah, gotcha. Okay, X said they're good to use. Cool. Guys, I haven't learned so many things. Thank you. Yeah, man. Shoot, I'm glad you know you learning, man. I'm glad that we're able to help. Nice. Okay, gotcha. Okay, thank you. Yes, we got you. Okay, is there a way to change the track latency delay milliseconds? Okay. Okay. All right. Got you. Okay. That's a multiple questions I'm like trying to answer. I'm like, what? Is there a way to change the track latency delay in milliseconds? Track latency delay. So you mean the latency from what you are saying to what you're hearing coming back? And preferences, normally you have that option, and that's this whole buffer size here. Normally, if you're using ASIO, you have to adjust it within your ASIO panel. So this will allow you to adjust the latency in seconds or milliseconds or samples, whichever. If you're not using ASIO and you're using WDM or Wasabi or anything like that, then you'll probably see the option here. Sometimes you might not see the option here at all. It just depends on what type of sound card you're using. If you're using an internal sound card, but normally, yeah, you can adjust the milliseconds here, and that'll adjust that latency. I hope that's the question that you were asking. The Sheb Brock. I think that's right. The Sheb Brock. Okay. Yeah. All right. It's so quiet. It really got to get to the point where I can just go live with some of you all. There's so many new options on YouTube now. So I started to go live earlier just using my phone in vertical position. But yeah, I decided to get on the computer and do it this way. So as always, if you all have questions, you know, like I said, send me an email, justinnorm llc@gmail.com, or you can send it through comment on a video I try to get back to all the comments that I can. Sometimes I don't get to them until a few days later. Sometimes I'm trying to research things, trying to figure out how to respond to you. And some things I feel is best if I just made a video on that question. Anything that I don't know, I'm going to reach out to my peers, like X, like anybody else that I in my circle, so I can find out, or I'll do research myself. But like I said, I don't know everything, and I don't claim to know everything. Um, yeah, but anyway, you all, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here. I gotta go spend some time with my kids. I can go to bed in a little bit, and yeah. So on Mondays, I'm gonna try to go live. Hopefully, every Monday at 8:30, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I don't know what time it is or where you all are, but 8:30 in Central Standard Time. I came on a little earlier, so it's been about an hour and 5 minutes. So yeah. So check that in. I'm gonna pin that message too as well. So anybody needs to know. And yeah, there we go. I think so. I have sampled that. Okay, yes, I think so. I have sampled that I have hard time syncing. Oh, okay. So the Shebrok, you're dealing with the sample, a particular sample, like audio sample that you're having trouble syncing. That would be a little different than what I was talking about for as latency. So it's all about kind of, if you can try to find out the sample, like what BPM it is. I know there's different tools that you can download to go into Cakewalk that'll actually like check the key of it, check the tempo of it, or you can just sample, like try to match a metronome to it on your phone or something like that to see exactly what tempo it is. Once you know what tempo it is, you can, if you start a brand new project, you can set your tempo to that project, or you can do audio stretching, which is a feature in Cakewalk that allows you to stretch the audio based off the actual tempo of the project, or you can stretch it, yourself. So to get it to, fit. Yeah, sometimes I have to do that too as well, like stretch it. So yeah, but yeah, I got to make more videos about sampling and stretching and all that good stuff. Sampling, I mean, it's just I use samples, but I just don't sample a lot. I do like what I do want to do. I just got to get time to do it. Is I want to create a video. Yeah, make sure it's a perfect loop. Then you can stretch it. Yeah, that too as well. Or you can make it a what is it? A groove clip. So you can turn it into a groove clip, and then it'll allow you to stretch it. And you can stretch as much as you want to as well. So after that, that's if you want to keep duplicating it over and over again. But yeah, I want to have one sample, like like take maybe like hitting on an object or an instrument or singing one note, just one note, and then take that one note and formulate a whole ensemble out of that. So like make a, sample it, change it into drums, change it into a bass, et cetera, et cetera. I can do it. It takes a little time to do it because I have two different starting at the same point, but one starts after the other. Okay, two different samples. Okay. And are the two different samples, are they at the same BPM, beats per minute, or tempo, or are they two different tempos? Yes, everything's the same. Okay. So those two samples fit, they fit well with each other, and and they're lining up perfectly, then it shouldn't be a problem to stretch it out. Um what was it? I think it's let's say something real quick. Are you asked me about traction? I like it so far, dude. Like I tried it and then I tried shoot, what was the other one I tried? Tried Waveform and then I tried something else. Oh, Bitwig. Yeah. I tried Bitwig too. So Bitwig was confusing, boy. I was like, oh my god, it was confusing. But I gotta get back into it. I do love Waveform. Yeah, I think it's pretty dope for what it is. Yeah, I mean, it's for the most part. I mean, I saw pretty much all the same features that I see on Cakewalk. I mean, there's some things that's probably missing, like it doesn't have the arranger, but yeah, I mean, it's a really cool plugin for I mean, not plugin, but cool software DAW for being free. So Bitwig is gonna be dope once I get into it. I just gotta do one more video about it. So I'm just slowly trying to explore other DAWs. I feel like it's like when you go to school and you grow up in a school district and all your friends are at that same school, but then you go to another school and you're like, why do you all dress that way? Or why do you all look that way? That's how I feel when I go to another DAW. I'll be like, whoa, why is this like, why is this like this? And I mean it's just that one. So like I'm in GarageBand, I can do Logic Pro, I can do Pro Tools I've even worked on, and Digital Performer I worked on. Um not about to say Cakewalk, Cubase I've worked on in the past. Nuendo I've worked on in the past. Like all of those, I'm like, it's been a long time. It's been 15, 20 years since I've used them, um, but all of those I'm like they kind of feel the same. But Bitwig was like, I was like, what? And I'm like, okay. Yeah, I was like, man, I'm gonna get into it though. I'm gonna get into it because people want to know about it. And I want to provide as much as I can. And it's the only reason why I'm doing this is because I'm still waiting on Cakewalk Sonar to drop. Now, once they drop, I'm gonna be back in here. And I'm like, I told them earlier, I was like, man, I hope they got some features on there that's like that knock all these softwares like out the park. Like, I want them to be like, yeah, because I follow I don't know if you follow or not, but Divine Terrell has helped me divine, and I've been following him for a long time. And me and him met through another platform along like a while back. Well, not met, but I came across him basically. And so he has his Help Me Divine channel, which works out, tutorials and stuff like that on audio and different DAWs. And he uses Pro Tools, but they have the My Audio Nerds podcast. And I don't know if you all are familiar with that. It's a really great podcast, and he's been having a lot of different producers come on and audio engineers, and they've been talking like different, ways of doing things. Oh, you love the product? Cool. You know what I'm talking about. So, but yeah, man, like I know nobody talks about Cakewalk. They'll talk about all the other dolls, but they never mention Cakewalk because Cakewalk is dead. People feel like Cakewalk is dead. Like they like, yeah, man. Oh, I remember Cakewalk. Yeah, they used to be back in the day. Reaper down there. They brought up Reaper in one of the conversations, but they never brought up Cakewalk. So I want Cakewalk Sonar to come out to be, and I want people to be like, hey, hey man, Cakewalk is back. And then I want them to be like, yeah, man, it's got this on it. I hope they're doing that. I hope that's the only reason why they're taking this long, because they got to really reinvent the wheel. They got to do something different. But I don't want them to lose most of the friendliness of this software. I feel like now to others, if you're new to Cakewalk, yeah, it might be hard to understand. But coming from dealing with other DAWs, this is one of the easiest DAWs I had to work with. For as the whereas everything it's kind of simple just to come in and just get to recording. Once you got your audio set up, that is. I feel like Traction Waveform is one good DAW, but I love Cakewalk DAWs. Switch another. You know what? And that's why I said, as long as the DAW is still working and you still got access to the plugins, you won't have to switch, unless it just happened to come in one day and then you'll be like, hey, Cakewalk wouldn't start up no more at all. Then you have to say, oh, well, I guess I'm going to be going to Waveform or go to somewhere else. But I think the software it's still going to work. It just won't receive any updates. And I mean, right now, the only thing that I can see that might cause issues with updates is if you are installing new plugins and for some reason those plugins won't work with Cakewalk because of the version that it's at. But other than that, I mean, it's still good to use it. Um, but it's also good to have extra dollars too as well. I like this one because it does everything, but like I said, if Sonar gets to the point where it can do everything there, if it has a sampler in there, if it has a sampler built in, and if it has more instruments, watch. It's gonna make a name, and people gonna be like, "Yeah, man, Cakewalk. Yeah, man, you ain't using Cakewalk. Yeah, man, everybody using Cakewalk now." Shoot. So, but we shall see. All right. I don't know how I got in that conversation. All right, man. But let me go for real, y'all. I love y'all, man. It's been wonderful. You new to the channel, definitely subscribe. Click the notification bell. You notified every time your boy drop a new video. I'm on a strict schedule right now. Trying to be. I'm trying to be on a strict schedule. So on Mondays, 8:30 Central Standard Time, I'm gonna be streaming unless some reason that doesn't happen. I'm gonna try to schedule it ahead of time so you'll know. And then on Thursdays, right? Thursdays, 8 a.m. in the morning, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time in the morning. It'll be a new video dealing with Cakewalk. Now, in between those two dates, you might see some other videos that have nothing to do with Cakewalk come out, like my reaction video, which I'm gonna get back into working on. Yeah. So, like I said, if you got any questions, definitely check out my vocal template. In your face, I got it set up for waves, and I have it set up specifically just for Cakewalk using the stock plugins. So check it out on my website, justthenorm.com. And yeah, is anything else in there? I think that's it. Oh, I'm doing one-on-ones too as well. So I got my calendar up for February. I'm gonna go ahead and put some dates in for March. So if you want to do a one-on-one with me, and it could be talking about Cakewalk, it could be talking about just music production or songwriting or anything that you need help with, definitely check that out. All right. Love you all. Peace.